I'm Martin, and I've been working with Russ and his team, and we've been looking and going through this stakeholder engagement course. So thanks for agreeing to be interviewed, Russ. And one of the first questions I'd like to ask you is, given that the experience was in that room, why did you all decide to do the stakeholder engagement course?
Yeah, thanks, Martin. Hello, everybody. I think it's important because with the experience that you have with dealing with stakeholders throughout various careers, I think it's good to know, one, are you doing it correctly? I think is in the first place, but two, building on your skill level that you already have, I think is very, very key. Because I mean, this course, I mean, I've dealt with stakeholders and of all different levels throughout my entire career so far, but I learned a lot from this course. I didn't even realise, certain ways of communicating and certain things that influence people in different ways. And I think you never really know whether it's the correct way or the right way or the best way until you do a course. And I think it's rubber stamps. One, you do have skills in it, but two, you can always learn something new as well, which I think is very, very important.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so if I could ask you to pick out one or two things you've been able to take out of the course and then put back into the workplace.
Yeah, I think for myself, it's definitely the communication style and the conflict management is sometimes is coming very, very handy, particularly with the policing background as well. It's a very key skill that we have a lot of. I think they've come in very important, particularly when dealing with big projects and conflicting priorities. The stakeholder savings model at the very beginning of the course, lesson one that you do, it was like sitting there and the light bulb moment came on, and you kind of do that automatically, but it's a lot more structured now. And I think that's what's helped a lot more is moving forward now as I'm going into meetings thinking, right, I can now put you where I know I'm going to get the best out of everybody in this now. And I know why certain things happen in certain ways. And I think it's really reinforced that information to me.
Okay, that's absolutely fabulous. Thanks, Ross. So in terms of the materials, then, talking about those, how did you find the materials and the kind of the flow, the clarity, the general course, in its setup?
I think we were lucky because we had the face-to-face course initially as a group, and then the book to follow up with as well afterwards. I mean, the flow was very nice for me. I can hand on heart say historically, I'm not the world's best for exams. I don't like them or anything at the end. I don't like anything really learning wise that comes up with a test at the end. I'd rather practically do something. But this made me actually feel quite comfortable because the flow was really nice throughout. There was enough content, and then the questions after each chapter were very good to reinforce that. And it just had that. It had a really, really nice flow and build up to it, where you felt like you were starting to build the blocks yourself, like you were being taught throughout the course. And it's just how they knitted together very nicely at the end. It actually made the exam quite a pleasant experience, which for me is a first. I can tell you for all the exams I've ever sat in my career, it's a first to sit there and smile at the end of one.
I can imagine you've done quite a few exams as well.
Yeah, quite a lot. But no, the flow made it a lot easier to prepare for it. Yeah, very easy. So.
Great. Okay, one last question. So if somebody was to say to you, what about Amatis Training? What would you say?
Well, I would say, the proof is I've had a very, very good experience. I've had a very good course. I've sat an exam and I feel like I've enhanced skills that I thought, I've dealt with for 20, 25 years in a career before I did the course. And I've now learned a lot more about how I can do it. So in terms of the training package, I can't really fault what I've experienced, and I can't fault the detail and the teaching as well, particularly the face-to-face thing, because the way it deviated off into our workplace and the way it was brought back into what we were talking about was absolutely brilliant. So not obviously put you on a pedestal there for the facilitation of the course, to say, but it's just that linking it into the real life element there, which is very, very key, because sometimes you can have a course where you get front loaded with information, but you can't really see the link to it, whereas this one sort of really fits it in quite nicely with what we do.
Oh, Ross, that's very kind. Music to our ears, because absolutely that's why we do it. It's not about the exams for us, it's about getting it back into the workplace and being able to apply it. Thank you very much indeed, and have a lovely afternoon. That's brilliant. Thanks, Ross. Bye-bye.
Thank you.